Every child going to a public school hopes to have a desk to sit and write on. It's a child's hope and parents' and teachers' dream that soon every public school classroom across the nation will have enough armchairs for its students. Each armchair carries hope for a child from a poor family that she too can have a better life and livelihood, more than what her family has now. And this hope is not just for the children, but for the makers of school armchairs like Mang Roderick. Every day, Mang Roderick goes to this workshop not far from his home to assemble school armchairs. He has already made hundreds of armchairs, not minding the scars and calluses as long as it keeps his family and those of his co-workers fed, sheltered, and schooled.
Every year po, may nagkakaroon po kami ng income araw-araw para po sa aming mga pamilya.
For every armchair he crafts, carries his hard work and his commitment to his children and his community. Mang Roderick belongs to a cooperative of people with different abilities, the Gintong Pangarap Cooperative, which in turn is a member of the National Federation of Cooperatives of Persons with Disability, or NFC-PWD. Gintong Pangarap, along with other co-ops all over the Philippines, produce armchairs for public schools nationwide while giving livelihood to the co-op members.
Ang Peace and Equity Foundation ay nakatulong ng malaki sa NFC-PWD, lalo na sa proyekto nito sa Department of Education. Kasi ang Department of Education ay hindi sila nagbibigay ng initial na kapital o down payment sa NFC-PWD. So ang PEF, siya yung nagbigay ng paunang kapital para makapagsimula at makapag-deliver ng mas maaga yung NFC-PWD.
Every single day, hundreds of creative and capable Filipinos use their special abilities to serve their families and communities. And yet, they struggle to survive in debilitating social conditions of poverty, conflict, injustice, and natural hazards. The Peace and Equity Foundation has played a catalytic role in opening opportunities for the poor so that they can meet their basic needs and live with dignity. Armed with the endowment fund since 2002, PEF is a Philippine funding partner of non-government and people's organizations who work with and help communities to claim their rights and live fully. PEF with the partner groups have built local organizations' capacities so communities can gain better services and markets. PEF with local government units and national agencies have pushed the frontiers of appropriate development to the hard-to-reach uplands and islands. PEF with private foundations and businesses have pooled resources to reach more families to have better lives. Norma is a Samal Bajau, an ethnic group in Basilan where challenges and peace and security persist. She and fellow Samal Bajau women in Barangay Tabuk, Maluso, Basilan are mat weavers. Their creativity reflects their moods and inspirations while weaving dried and colored pandan leaves. Every design they make is unique and cannot be repeated. Through the Claret Samal Foundation and PEF, these woven products are now displayed in stores, yielding additional income for the Bajau women and their families. Every day, Ka Norma and other women ride in small boats to buy rice and other household needs and for the children to go to school. A 400-meter sturdy footbridge now connects the resettlement site of the Samal Bajaus and the town proper. Today, children can attend school and women can bring their woven goods to the market with more ease and less expense. There are no better guides for tourists than local themselves. To prove this, the Boat Owners Association in Honda Bay, Palawan, ventured into a tourism enterprise. With support from the Palawan network of NGOs and PEF, the group trained on how to run customized tours, and loans were availed for improving their floating rafts and operating expenses. Whereas before, fishing was the only source of livelihood, the Honda Bay fishers and boat owners now provide local tourism services. Crafts and local food items made by the partner communities sold at the Pashar Palawan Development Center further augment their livelihood. McCoy is a 3-year-old boy growing up in a rural barangay of Bohol Island. Every day, he and his friends had to carry big gallons of water and walk for about half a kilometer just to fetch clean water for their households. The Manguol Women's Association's Our Mama Water System project set up cheaper ferro cement water tanks and tap stands for household clusters. PEF provided technical design, skilled labor and materials. The barangay helped with civil works and supervision, while MAMA, the local organization, gave their sweat equity in the form of labor. PEF has used a similar scheme in scores of water-poor communities, not only in Bohol but also in other provinces. Less than an hour by pump boat from the famed Boracay Island, San Jose Romblon has very little fresh water. PEF and a private corporate foundation supported by the NGOs and cooperatives of Romblon launched the San Jose Rainwater Harvester and Biosand Filter Project. The project now builds ferro cement rainwater catchment tanks that can store enough water for households' domestic use. Every Filipino family needs lighting and fuel to perform basic household chores. With today's increasing oil prices and the need to cut down carbon released to the atmosphere, PEF supports renewable energy for lighting and fuel needs. PEF manages a fund from multilateral donors and the Philippine government to perform microloans for renewable energy technology. In small islands without electricity supply, a solar-powered lantern brings bright steady light for women to mind their stores at dusk or to families eating supper or gathering at night. A fuel-efficient cook stove using charcoal briquettes helps cooked food vendors in Cebu City cut down costs for LPG or kerosene for cooking, thus earning more from their food business. PEF cannot reach the poorest communities, nor can it use funds well without the community organizations and their committed development partners. Making these groups more capable to manage their affairs and obtain more resources for their improvement continues until today. There is power in these resilient groups that are crucial in quickly responding and rebounding from disasters. There is power in these groups that manage loans and grants for livelihood enterprises and community services. There is power in these community organizations working together for lasting human development. Peace for the Samal Bajau and other indigenous ethnic groups like them that are forgotten in the fringes of development. Equity for differently abled persons in many cities and provinces and small fishers in our extremely long coastlines who can produce, earn, and contribute their work. Access to clean water for women and children and lighting for remote islands and upland farming households. Community empowerment, the foundation for PEF to blaze trails, unleash local capacities, open opportunities, and sustain civil society groups to build better lives and abundant futures for Filipino communities.
Jian